how to ask your parents for therapy. This is a huge question that I've been receiving lately, and it can be scary because a lot of times it seems as though our parents aren't really taking us seriously and maybe think that we don't have any reasons to feel the way that we are feeling. So today in this video, I will outline some ways that can make it easier for you to have that conversation with your parents. So stay tuned. But first, I want to welcome all of my new subscribers on here. I am so overwhelmingly happy to have you guys on here. A lot of you came from TikTok, which is incredible. I really look forward to making more content for you guys based on your questions. I really value your questions that you have sent in to me through Instagram, and I have created a document that will allow me to answer these questions in video form because a lot of people can really benefit from the things you guys were asking me. So thank you again. Make sure to like this video so that this video can also make it to other people who might be needing it. And to all my awesome subscribers from the past, I am so glad that you're back. I appreciate your continued support. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and share this video because again, it helps YouTube share this video with more people and get the message out to whoever might be needing this. Okay, so let's dive right in. So a lot of you again have talked to me about how difficult it is to talk to your parents, or some of you have said that your parents were like, you don't need therapy, or we don't believe in therapy. So here are a few tips for me. So my first tip is to really get to know your symptoms. What is going on that's making you feel not so good? Are you overly worried? Are you having muscle tension and chest pains? Are you experiencing panic attacks? Are you crying all the time? Are you having trouble sleeping? It can be different for everybody. You may have a combination of symptoms, and it's not necessarily important to know what your diagnosis is, and it's really hard for you to find out what your diagnosis is without seeing a professional in the first place. So I wouldn't be so much focused on that. I would focus on what's different. What do you want, and why is it not able to happen right now? So if you want to be able to sleep and you can't sleep, or you're having panic attacks at school, then that's really important to jot down. Okay, trouble concentrating, things like that. So I want you to start by making a list of all of the things that you are experiencing that make you feel like you really need help, or you really need to reach out to somebody. Okay. My second tip is to go online and find articles, research articles on Google about what these symptoms might mean, or what you think you have, so anxiety or depression or ADHD. And I want you to read and inform yourself about these things so that you can maybe show and share that information with your parents. It might also be a good idea to find articles about why it's important to receive therapy when you're feeling this way. You're more than welcome to share this video if you want, or any of the videos that I have posted. Those are all helpful tools for you so that you can have backup to help you talk to your parents and feel a little bit more confident. My next tip is to plan out exactly what you're going to say. So sometimes it can be really hard to know how to approach the conversation, or how to start, or what symptoms we might want to share and which symptoms we might not want to share. So that's okay. You're able to sit down with yourself and maybe have a journal or somewhere on your phone and just jot down a few different versions of how you would like to approach your parents, and then practice. You can practice in a mirror. You can practice saying it out loud and hearing yourself. You can record yourself and see what it looks and sounds like. You can see if you can bounce ideas off of a friend. Those are all okay ways for you to see which one sounds more natural and more like you, to help you feel really comfortable when you are at the point where you want to talk to your parents. Once you have done that, my next tip is to schedule this. Don't just start talking about this on the car ride home from school or on Sunday morning right when they wake up. They might be busy, they might not have time to listen to you, they might have other things on their plate, and you want to make sure that this conversation gets the attention that it deserves. And so the best way to do that is to say something along the lines like, hey mom, hey dad, or caregiver, I really want to talk to you about something, but I want to make sure that we don't have any distractions. Is there any time this week or next week that we can sit down for at least an hour or so, or however long you think it's going to take you? I would at least block off like 30 minutes to an hour, so you make sure you can get all of this out so that I can talk to you about this. And hopefully they're receptive to that, and then schedule that time. Now, when the conversation comes, you also want to be prepared for the various ways they might react. So they might invalidate your feelings, and you have to be prepared for that. It might hurt. They might say, you don't need this, or I don't believe that you really have this. And we don't want to start getting defensive or start getting in a fight with our parents at this point. It's not going to go anywhere that way. Just take note of everything that they're saying, and if you have done your research and you can maintain your cool, you can say, you know, I respect that opinion of you, but I still really do feel like I need help. And if they still are not taking you seriously, then I'm going to give you some other options. So if you're under the age of 18, you do need parental consent to see a therapist in the office. So these are your options. If you go to school, you have a school counselor. Most schools have a school counselor or school psychologist on staff, and usually you're assigned to one. So if you're not sure who your counselor is, please talk to your teacher. Teachers are your first people that can guide you in the right direction. Explain to your teacher what you're feeling. Usually teachers are also trained in identifying mental health challenges such as ADHD or anxiety or depression. So talk to your teachers, tell them how you're feeling, and see if they can refer you or help you reach out to that school counselor. Once you go to that school counselor can also help set you up, maybe help facilitate that conversation between you and your parents. So they might not be the ones that are going to give you treatment, and most of the time they will not, because their job as a school counselor is a little bit different than that. But they can help you come up with ways to talk to your parents, and they might be able to also facilitate that conversation with your parents. So that would be my biggest first recommendation if your parents are not receptive. Then another option is to talk to your pediatrician. So sometimes you don't feel well, your parents will take you to the doctor, and you are allowed to talk to your pediatrician without your parents in the room. So make sure that you express that to your pediatrician, or maybe tell your parents that you want to talk to your pediatrician about something personal. And your pediatrician will also be able to provide you with the right tools or resources, or maybe even help you, again, facilitate that conversation with your parents. I know that this is not an easy thing to do. I know that you'll probably feel really vulnerable. You'll probably feel scared and uncertain of how it's going to be received, which is why I talk about preparation and how important it is. So again, write down your symptoms, write down how you would like to feel. You can even try talking to your parents about if they've ever felt that way before and what they did. Sometimes you'd be surprised at how receptive they might be. They might be really caring and say, oh my gosh, I had no idea that you have been feeling this way, and they will want to help you. But there are times when they won't, and there are times where they won't believe you, or they might minimize your feelings, or they might invalidate them and tell you that you have nothing to be anxious or depressed about. And that is a reality, which at that point is when we want to make sure to go and talk to that teacher, the school counselor, the doctor, a trusted adult that can help get you set up with the right tools. I really hope that you found this video helpful. If there's something I missed or didn't answer, please leave a comment below. I will answer those. If you have tried any of these or tried something different, please also comment them below. You never know who might find your strategies helpful, and I always love to hear new strategies to see maybe if I can make a part 2 of this video and see if I can add to it. And again, if you have other questions about mental health topics, anxiety, depression, symptoms, tips, you can head over to my Instagram page and send me a direct message. I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. But I am taking note of those questions. I am not providing therapy through those platforms. What I'm doing is I am creating a sheet, as I mentioned earlier, to help you guys through video and post format, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, depending on how detailed the question might be. So just know that your question is not being ignored. It is on the way. I am working very hard to make sure that I answer all of your questions. So please send me your questions, and I look forward to answering all of them. Thanks, guys. Until next time.